Steeler Nation, welcome back to another episode of the Ginger Yinzer Podcast. We are talking 2026 Pittsburgh draft today, so pull up a seat, crack a cold one. Let's get into it. My name's Jack, and I'm coming to you from the Outback.
Hamdi.
Yes, here we go, Steeler Nation. Alright, well, we may as well talk about the elephant in the room. Mackay Lemon, absolute daylight robbery. I don't know how he keeps getting. He can't keep.
You can't keep getting away with it.
He, yeah, hell of a move by Howie to move ahead in the draft. Moved up to pick 20 and traded with the Dallas Cowboys. However, a lot of people giving Steelers a shit ton of grief about saying that he got fleeced, saying that Steelers should be embarrassed, saying that the max NHL pick is like a panic, just hit panic button. Just like a lot of people like the storyline and we love bashing the Steelers, but let's be honest, nobody saw a division rival trading with another division rival. Like, the Steelers were literally on the phone to Lemon. Should have Omar Khan called the Cowboys and done his due diligence to see if the pick was safe. Probably, but you can't punish a guy. Like, what is Jerry Jones doing, letting his own division rival move up and get a player which will help them? I don't know if Jerry Jones didn't think that Mackay Lemon was all that and didn't mind them moving up and then thought that getting assets in return was the go. But yeah, it's a bit of a harsh one for Omar Khan because, like I said, it'd be the equivalent of us trading up to the 14th pick and asking the Baltimore Ravens, "Hey Baltimore, I know that we absolutely hate each other, but would you mind if we traded picks?" It just wouldn't happen, and I think everyone in the league realized that it was a shock, and we've just got to move on. And yes, he learnt from his mistakes. We moved up in the second round and took another wide receiver, which, mind you, low key is just as good as Mackay Lemon could be. So, to clarify that, Eagles moved up and they got pick 20 and they got a seventh round pick back. And then the Cowboys gave them pick 23 overall, pick 114, and pick 137. So, the Cowboys didn't really get anything substantial. It just seemed like a giant, screw you to the Steelers. It's it is what it is. Like, you move on, but people saying that the NHL pick was a panic, like, do people understand how draft rooms actually work? It's not like they panicked and they were like, "Oh, we've only got Mackay Lemon on our board. Like, it's Mackay Lemon, or we're going home with nobody. Who cares?" It's they thought about it, they talked, and they came up with Max NHL. I'm sure Fernando Mendoza would have been their number one on the big board, but obviously he goes, cross him off the list, you go to your next one. Mackay Lemon goes, cross him off, and you go to your next available player. People just hating on Steelers, and they just need to get over it. And so the Steelers selected Max Iannacho. Say it with me, Iannacho, with the 21st pick. He is someone that has only been playing football for about 4 years, but has taken elite strides, looking like he moves like such an elite tackle already. And a lot of the time, without playing high school, you don't develop those bad kind of techniques that you pick up naturally. He's had great coaching at Arizona State, and now he looks like he's going to take the starting role at left tackle. Depending on how Broderick Jones's neck injury goes, Steelers today declined his fifth-year option, so it looks like they're going to have a bit of a battle going into camp, or who knows, the Steelers might be moving on from Broderick Jones sooner or later. But Maxi and H had an outstanding Senior Bowl. Really went up against the best pass rushing draft for a long time. He also came up against Mekhi Lawrence and David Bailey throughout the season, and held up his own. Like David Bailey was second round pick to the Jets, and yeah, like I said, he held his own. He really took it to both of those guys, and just goes to show that he can do it with the best of them. He has great power, great balance, his quickness, his ability to redirect rushes is quite remarkable, and his ability to recover with his hands is, yeah, second to none. Fantastic football player. Um, Still have invested a shit ton of picks in their O line recently. I think that's four O line in 5 years in the first round. Omar Khan has been investing that O line because next year, or going into next year's draft, do we take a quarterback, or do we keep um, building up these skill positions? Hopefully, Aaron Rodgers will be back this year, and he's gonna sit behind a pretty young, talented O line, which are gonna grow together. I think McCormick is the oldest. He might be 24, 25, but he and the other O linemen are going to really do well. Max played right tackle in college, and would suspect that he would stay at maybe right tackle, and moving Troy Fortana over to left. He played left in college for Washington, but yeah, again, with Broderick Jones still on the list, we could move guys around. That's what training camp's for. Another reason why going tackle, or just O-line in general, in the first round was a great pick is because the Steelers need to face some pretty decent and hefty pass rushers and D linemen going into this season. Um, Obviously, Miles Garrett twice a year. We've got Trey Hendrickson twice a year now in Baltimore, and potentially Matabike coming back, as well as Dexter Lawrence being traded to the Bengals. Obviously, him being a nose tackle, probably not as big as a pass rush aspect, but still, building the trenches is no secret. That's a recipe to success, and Steelers are definitely doing so. I think a lot of people also forgot that Steelers have been drafting elite wide receivers in the second to third rounds for years now. And it's not just Kevin Colbert that has been drafting these guys. Obviously, with Omar Khan taking the reins as general manager, we've had three of the same main scouts that have been working for Colbert, obviously Dan Colbert, his son, as well as two other guys that have been with Pittsburgh for 10 to 15 years. So to say that, oh, it's just Colbert that can draft these elite receivers is just not true. There's a whole process and a whole team that goes into drafting these guys, and Steelers have been doing it forever, which you can see here. Going into this pick, the Steelers traded up with the Colts to get Jeremy Bernard, wide receiver from Alabama. Um, Bernard obviously picked 47. Pittsburgh moved up to 47 from pick 53. And we also acquired the 249th from Indianapolis, and the Colts received pick 53, pick 135, and pick 237. Now, obviously, Lemon not being there at 20, and Steelers taking one in the second round. I love it. Like, Bernard has been a fantastic receiver and really did take the reins with Alabama this year, moving into that wide receiver one role. Played 60% of his snaps in the slot, which is perfect. Like, Steelers are looking for that slot receiver, as well as 40% on the outside. And why can't he develop both? Obviously, the wide receiver room in Pittsburgh now is looking pretty nice. I can't believe I'm saying that now after the last few years that we've had. But he is definitely going to be in that wide receiver three position straight away. And let's see what he can do. Like I said, Steelers drafting elite wide receivers in the second round for fun in these recent years. So Bernard is a tremendous blocker. He actually used to play O-line in high school, so he's got those hands that can sit you on your wallet. So that's going to be formidable blocking wide receivers. Obviously, we've got Ben Skowronek, who's a great blocker, great special teams. DK Metcalf, big dude, 6'4", and Michael Pittman Jr. as well is 6'3", 6'4" as well. Big guys, big hands. Get out of my way. Speaking of great hands, Jeremy Bernard, fantastic hands. One drop in 102 targets, I think, last season, and offers great yak ability as well. He gets the ball in space and he is moving. And he can obviously develop under DK and Pittman. And after a couple of years, who knows? Hopefully, he can take over that wide receiver one role. Above all of these things, he is a sensible, hard-working professional, and I think I can speak on behalf of all Steeler fans that we could be over the attitude, divas, whatever you kind of say. It's getting pretty old here in Pittsburgh, so it's good to get somebody that has his feet on the floor, very grounded young individual. Um, Also low key, very good that Omar Khan did trade up to get him as well. Just goes to show that he learned from his mistake in the first round and was able to get our guy. With pick 76, the Pittsburgh Steelers selected Drew Aller, quarterback out of Penn State University. Now, yeah, this one surprised the hell out of me, to be honest. There are a few guys on the board which I thought might be something of more urgency, I guess. I know the guard out of Oregon was on the board, and I was adamant that we were going to take him all three times in the third round, but alas, Drew Aller is the pick, and with some uncertainty with the quarterback position going forward with the Steelers, I don't hate it. Like, he's got great size, great measurables, big arm, huge arm, absolute cannon, 6'5", and has some low key rushing ability as well. Obviously had an injury last year, but losing in the national championship game, he had some difficulty stepping up to the task in big moments, and I think I think he does get a bad rap. A lot of people saying that he doesn't step up in big moments, but he also didn't have the best environment to succeed as well. I think that the wide receivers that he had weren't like elite in any means of the stretch. His coaching staff have all been fired since, so obviously they can't be very good at their job or good for Drew Aller anyway. Um, but he's great at sensing pressure. He's fantastic. He hangs in there, he stays in the pocket, takes hits, and has a kind of good sense of when to throw in that touch pass, that softer pass versus the fastball as well. Yeah, he's able to he's able to be aware of things he needs to get better at as well. On the phone with Omar Khan, he was, yeah, already talking about how he can get better and things he needs to work on. Obviously, he has some great self awareness and hopefully will become a successful quarterback, whether it's just to push Will Howard or whoever's in that quarterback spot for the QB1 position, or is it something for just backup for the rest of his career? Who knows? But one thing I do know is Mike McCarthy can develop a quarterback with the best of them. He's obviously worked with Aaron Rodgers, arguably the best thrower of the football ever, and coming out of coming out of Cal University, Aaron Rodgers had a bit of an interesting throwing technique and mechanics, and McCarthy stripped it right back. And look at him now. Hopefully, Aaron will be back teaching Allah and teaching Will Howard a thing or two about that position. If it were so that Allah were to start for the Steelers this year, he would be walking into a tailor-made ready offense for a successful quarterback, a quarterback that can potentially not have to throw the ball, 40, 50 times to win the game. We've got um, a really strong running back core with Rico Dowdle and Jalen Warren. We've also got two really, really elite tight ends. And we'll get to this later, but a kind of Swiss Army knife tight end that we drafted as well with a championship pedigree as well as a wide receiver core that is now fairly deep with DK Metcalf, Michael Pittman Jr., and recently spoke about Jeremy Bernard from Alabama. So, yeah, there's absolutely no reason why Allah can't develop as a quarterback, and no reason why he can't be successful in the league. He wouldn't be the only third round quarterback to become a successful quarterback, and he sure as hell wouldn't be the only one to not make it either. So, you know, we potentially could have got him later for sure, but it's a pick where I think the Steelers were loading up on their needs throughout this whole draft process as well as in free agency. They were able to get all of their needs in free agency, obviously apart from quarterback, Aaron Rodgers still pending, as well as drafting all of their needs through the draft as well. So there's absolutely no reason why Alec couldn't have been taken at this pick. Um, People can argue that he obviously could have been taken later as well, but with quarterback position, if you like him, go and get your guy. Like we saw what happened. If you wait, you might miss out. So yeah, why not? Rightio, next, Steelers selected Dalen Everett, cornerback from Georgia, with the 85th pick in the third round. Now, I fucking loved this pick. I'm not gonna lie. He's only 21 years old. He's had 41 career starts, over 2,500 snaps with the Dogs. And he is a big outside corner, man. 98% of the time he's been on the outside, mainly press man, but can get a little bit better in press man. Can sometimes get a little bit too aggressive, but hey, that's coaching. He's gonna sit behind, um, obviously Joey Porter Jr., Dean Samuels. We've got already pretty established cornerback room, but it creates a little bit of flexibility as well. Move him into special teams early. He's a great tackler as well. He has a big motor, extremely physical, and he's fast. He makes fast people look not fast. He runs a 4.3 speed and will be able to kind of yeah, move into that position hopefully sooner rather than later. Obviously, Porter is our guy. He's our cornerback one, and Jamal Dean, I think he signed a 3-year deal with us as well, a 3-year extension. But if things don't work with him, there is a bit of a loophole where they can get out relatively scot free after this year. So, who knows if Everett were to start moving heads in training camp, and Asante Samuels is only on a 1 year deal too. Hopefully he can move into that cornerback two spot. But flexibility, it's a good problem to have. We've got guys fighting for roster spots, and the saying, iron sharpens iron here in Pittsburgh. So let's make sure that everyone's getting better in that room. Alrighty, moving forward. Oh, this next pick gets the Ginger Yinzer absolutely going. Jennings Dunker, guard or played tackle in Iowa, but will be a guard moving forward to the next level. Picked him up round 3, pick 96, traded up with the Seahawks. Thank you very much. Steelers got pick 96, and we gave the Seahawks pick 99 and 216. Now, before we go any further, glorious hair. Ginger Yinzer absolutely loves this pick for obvious reasons, but a great pick nonetheless. Look, he's going to compete right away with Anderson. We all know Iowa plays a very gritty run style. Obviously, Caleb Johnson coming from Iowa as well had a lot of success. Anyway, that's a different story. Yeah, tough and gritty, country boy. He country strong, and he is an athletic big boy. He can get out in front, lead blocking, and he's going to be playing around some dogs, man. The Steelers O line, like I mentioned earlier, Steelers O line is gaining a lot of waves. We've got a lot of high pedigree in that O line now. And they're going to grow together. They're going to move up together and hopefully become a top 5 O line within a year or two. And super young, Mason McCormick, I think, is the oldest. He's only 25. All the rest under 25. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years of success. If these guys can get it all together. Obviously, last year we made a big jump, and we've added two O lines. Sorry, in this O line now. So yeah, here's to moving forward with that. For Steelers, select Caden Weegan, kick returner, mainly kick returner. Yeah, a bit of a surprise this pick. I thought that they could have potentially got at this guy later, but again, Steelers were drafting for needs. That's no secret. Usually the other way around. But yeah, this year drafting for needs, Caden Weegan was a big need. We don't have a kick returner, and why not go out and get the best kick returner in all of college football? Back-to-back Jet Award winner for the best return man in all of college football. Had 6 tutties throughout his college career. He ran back 6 of them things. And he is a pure returner. Like I said, um, don't think he will be a massive impact in the wide receiver core, but we all need a returner. And low key looking at tape, not a bad route runner. Like he's crispy route runners, short, obviously a shorter guy, gets out of cuts pretty quickly. And yeah, he's able to put his foot in the ground and is super elusive in that return game. Um, Look, we need to invest in all assets of the game. It's championship football. Like having a guy that can potentially flip the field, like even running it back, 20, 30 yards, it completely flips the field. Instead of getting the ball at the 20, you're getting it at the halfway line. And for a team that has kind of struggled offensively the last few years, granted, we've put a lot of stock into it, but it's yeah, it's not a bad pick. I like it, man. Like again, it's a risky pick. Um Going taking him a lot earlier than what he probably could have been at, but once again, go and get your guy. Pick 169, Riley Nowakowski out of Indiana. Omar cannot help himself. He loves drafting national champions. He does it every year, and why stop now? Um, yeah, mainly I think he'll be a fullback for the Steelers. He can do a number of things. Like he'll probably be our third tight end as well. Think of him as a bigger, better, faster Connor Haywood, but obviously Connor Haywood did bring a lot of special team ability as well, so he might lack out a little bit there. But yeah, big time glue guy, has extreme versatility, and Indiana went to him in some pretty big moments. In throughout the season. His first touchdown scorer in the national game, I think, from memory. But that just goes to show that he's trusted. He's a trusted member of the Indiana offense, and yeah, can be a trusted member moving forward with the Steelers. Gabriel Rubio at pick 210 was a bit of a shock. Yeah, defensive end, can play defensive tackle, but he's a big 6'3" guy, 33-inch arms, big run stuffer basically. Um, Potentially kind of a nose tackle, but bit of a confusing pick in case you haven't noticed. Very hard to find information on as well. He did have a lot of success in 2024 for the Fighting Irish, in that championship run, which they ultimately lost. But yeah, he had some players. Like, there's no denying that. He's a big space eater. He'll take on blockers and allow our linebackers to kind of clean up behind him. But confusing pick, could have definitely got him later. However, at this point in the draft, you are throwing darts at a dartboard anyway. So let's see which one can stick. Steelers selected the absolute steal of the draft in round 7. Pick 224, Robert Spears Jennings, safety out of Oklahoma, is an absolute dog. He is fast, 4'3", lengthy, big body type safety. All athletic traits are so strong. Versatility, man. 50, played in the box, played deep, and a guy that doesn't miss tackles either. Steelers were lacking a lot of speed in the secondary last year. Obviously, Jalen Ramsey not being no spring chicken anymore. Still more beneficial down in the box, Ramsey, and we saw that later in the second half of the year. But yeah, Robert Spears Jennings is really fast, man, and he's a big dude, so he's able to get around, fly around. Such a Steeler pick, man. Like, he can really lay the hit stick, and like I mentioned, is a very short tackler. Again, something that we weren't amazing at wrapping up last year, and it's been a bit of an issue moving forward. So it's great to get a pick that can really, do both, can play in the box, and will be able to get sideline to sideline with that 4-3 speed as well, and hopefully prevent those big plays that we saw kind of come into effect throughout the season last year as well. But yeah, Robert Spears Jennings, remember the name. Now, before announcing the last pick, this was the moment of the draft as well. Round 7, Eli Heidenreich out of Navy, running back slash wide receiver, Swiss Army knife, if you will. Born and bred Steeler, he gets to live out his dream now, and hopefully he has a fair shot at making this roster. This guy is everything and more. He like I said, hometown Yinzer, born and bred. What a moment it was to get selected to the Steelers in your home city. This is going to be the easiest guy to support in training camp. And yeah, moving forward, he's got a lot of CMC comparison, like, can do it all. Incredibly versatile. I actually hope he can jump on special teams early. potentially be that second return guy. Elite athletic score as well. Incredible three cone drill, potentially another slot wide receiver moving forward, but yeah, we'll be fighting for his spot in the wide receiver room. Obviously, a lot of busybodies in there now, and a lot of smaller guys. Roman Wilson, he'll be competing against, and Caden Widget as well. So this this pick was a steal, man. Like he is um, hometown hero. Let's get behind him, and let's fingers crossed that he can make a roster spot because his highlights are pretty nice. A lot of one-handed catches as well. Really, really good focus bringing that ball in. Yeah, this guy's a steal. And that'll just about do it today for the Ginger Yinzer. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, jump on Instagram, give us a follow, get active in the comments. Uh, I just want to talk bowl. I'm not gonna lie. Australia is starting to grow a little bit in the NFL space. There's a lot of good pages out there now. Shout out to Snapcount Society and Outback to End Zone. The fellas over there doing a great job helping spread the NFL all throughout Australia. But yeah, stay safe and we'll see you next time.